The issue of access to clean water in the U.S. took center stage a few years ago with the press coverage on the situation in Flint, Michigan, and again when clean water was threatened in Standing Rock. Can you talk a bit about America's clean water crisis beyond Flint and who is most directly impacted?
Definitely. First of all, I want to say, forgive me, and for my elders, we always acknowledge our elders wherever we speak. Say, forgive me for speaking on behalf of myself. Let's say Mike, Nuchu, Murakachu, Dunigichu, Jenimuch, Nugat one, Suku Smurt, Niagat. In my Ute language, they say hello to each one of you and say greet you guys. It's always good to greet people where we're from. In my Nez Perce side, I say Tat Galawat, Wenamwas, Tia Lithnik. My Nez Perce side up in northern Idaho, I say hello to each one of you as friends. And I say that in my Native American name, my indigenous name that was given to me by my elders, to say that my name is Bartholomew Powaukee, and I'm from the Northern Ute tribe. The Ute tribe, the land that you guys are walking on, sit on, was land to my grandmothers, my elders here. We fought for this land. We didn't do too well because they'd taken it away. And now we fight over water to this point. We still fight over land jurisdictions. And we're starting to come back. We say we're coming back because we're starting to win court cases for our jurisdiction. We haven't got to the point of water. Water is something we don't fight about. We fight about water that our elders tell us they'll take it away. And so with that, we have a land out here about 2 miles, 2-hour drive. We have 4.5 million acres of land that we oversee. And with this land that we oversee, we was put on this land by the federal government. We once lived in Colorado, western Colorado in that area, until 1855 when we were relocated over here to the Uinta Basin. Keep in mind, the government never saw the Uinta Basin. They saw it as a desolate land, nothing you can do with it, desert area, nothing you can grow vegetation, you can't grow anything out there. That's how they saw it, and that's where they put us. The harshest conditions out there. So if you looked at Fox TV News, KUTV, you saw that we're really cold. We're really cold climate right out there. And you see during the summer times are really hot. And these are issues we have to face with out there, the harshest weather. And with this water, I work with our water department, our water resource. We work with water rights within our tribe. And we're starting to come together with some attorneys and some individuals that assist us. We're finding that our water rights have been taken away long before we have got here through the Bureau of Indian Affairs, that they allocated water to each person saying they get so much shares. But it's not true. We're trying to find out these shares are so far away from the waters, the rivers, that they can't access them. The amount of money to get to that water would cost a lot more than it would. So that's what we're finding out through our government, how they just did us wrong here. Mm-hmm. And with the water shares, we're finding out that we're still fighting over this water to this day with the state, and that how all the water is allocated to go further down. As you know, the Colorado River runs down all the way into California, Las Vegas. We own a large chunk of that water from the Uinta Basin. We have headwaters in that area, which were eventually taken away and put into Forest Service lands. So there's only one area that we have. In the Uinta Canyon, we have an area called Big Springs. This water is truly special to us. We have all our ceremonies that we have. And within the past year, that was taken away from us because they say we no longer use it by a energy department. Moon Lake Electric took it away from us, and we're trying to get that back. It holds a lot of sacred things to us. But anyway, I was saying that the water all goes down river, and then we bring all of our attorneys, we bring our leaders down to this Colorado River Water Users Conference we have in Las Vegas. And we discuss water issues. We hear a lot of water attorneys talking about this water is already allocated to different areas, and it's not our water. But they do not know that We have the oldest treaty. We have the senior water rights. And we're always getting water taken away from us. Currently, right now, I work for our water department as water quality. We test water up in the Rock Creek area. And we find that there's outside people, private areas that hold things where they actually get in with bulldozers and they turn the current over to where they are. And we're finding that they're disrupting the many species that grow in there, whether it be the macroinvertebrates that are in there, the fish species. And to us, this area is really pristine. It's where we hold one of our areas where our ceremonials used to take place, our Sundances. But also, water is very important to us. A lot of things in that area, because we're finding out that they're trying to divert water when we're trying to keep it. Like I said, water is very important. We hold it in high regards. In most of our ceremonies, it takes place. The water goes through our reservation and it goes through flooded areas where we're finding that the state of Utah, where we have no say, they haven't brought us to the table yet. And we're finding that we're going into congressional hearings to fight over some public land initiative supported by the state Congress, and the state congressman is also a part of the United States Congress. And so with that, we have battles to fight, not only with the state, but also with the United States Congress. We just currently went through a Congress hearing where we went against this gentleman named Rob Bishop. Rob Bishop is really someone that I would say is a sly person. There's some things that he put in some of the HR bills that were underneath to take away some of our land. And we found out those, and we went against it. We had a hearing about it. The last hearing, one of our councilmen, Mr. Sean Chapoose, went to hearing, and he brought this up. And they keep saying this is area, which I'm going to talk about, is Bears Ears. You probably heard about it, but the focus was on it about a month ago when you saw the big old thing on TV where President Trump came and did his famous signature executive orders. That one was reduced, our Bears Ears. My people of the Ute Mountain Ute tribe, the Dene people, the Navajo people, the Hopi, the Zuni, we're all associated with this area. And when we go in there and we fight for the land and the water that is associated with it, they don't know the ties that are there with us. They're areas that we have still hold sentimental to us. Sentimental areas that we have that were taken away from us through, genocide that was brought up. We were killed off. And then we have areas in there that they reduced the area. We had the Zinke come over and do an examination of the area. And as you know, that Zinke's staff has all resigned because of that. And they reduced it. They reduced some areas. And I was talking with our cultural rights team, Betsy Chapoose. She said this all could have been avoided because we did not get consulted. We say the Bureau of Land Management, also known as the BLM, the U.S. Forest Service, we don't get consulted on things. I feel that we don't have a voice in any of the table that is going on. And that's how it goes with the state. And I was referencing Sean Chapoose. We have a Indian Leaders Summit that we have every quarter. And, you know, the Governor Herbert, he knows each department, each tribe, the leaders, and he can easily call us upon those things, but yet we see no consultation. Come over here, let's talk about Bears Ears, let's talk about reducing. What's the tribe's point? We are totally cut off from that. And I feel when I talk to other tribes, I work with the United States Environmental Protection Agency under some grants. I talk with other tribes and how they're dealing with the state. And some states, they're working cooperatively with the tribes. I feel that the state right here, the state of Utah, it's not working cooperative with us. I have got to thinking that our tribe, we rely on oil and gas heavily out there to maintain our life. And we have a round table set up within our tribe to see areas that we can actually protect, cultural sensitive areas that we have. We also have the areas for oil and gas development. EPA called me and said we had over 250 oil heads that are being that are being uprised right now. What's going on? I thought you guys had a roundtable. I said, these are just talks. They said, we have areas that we have listed. But through these talks that I learned that the state of Utah is really hard to get along with compared to like the state of Colorado, Wyoming, and they have indigenous tribes there that they deal with. And I believe it's funding-wise. The tribes, they're not as well off as we say the Northern Ute tribe because of our oil and gas production. But they heavily rely on the state's income, what they're putting into it. We don't have to rely on the state's income. We do what we want with our land. We oversee what's going on. With the case with the water, there's areas in our tribe that we're seeing climate change. Climate change that goes into some of our stories that we're told by my elders. When we have this story told by our elders, it's a story that you hear often through our elders. You hear it over and over. And like I said, I'm not the voice of myself. I'm the voice of our elders, the voice of my grandmothers, the voice of my people. And I'm not that voice. I'm the voice of them. They keep referring, you need to take care of this land. My people in Lapwai, Idaho, the Nez Perce, they will not sell the bones of our grandfathers. These are words that are said by them. We have to live by these words. And there's stories that go along with this. We see the climate change with water and how water really affects us with our cultural uses. Water goes all over to our areas where we're fighting for it through these water rights. They come in the area floodplains that we need. And we don't have these climate changes. The floodplain doesn't go over through the heavy snowpacks. And we use these waters to irrigate some of our plants and our trees. There's one particular tree we call the cottonwood. The cottonwood has a story. It's called the store tree among our people. And the store tree, when you cut open a cottonwood, there's a store in there. But that store creates us to the heavens, to our Creator, and that connects us with that. And with that, it has different meanings to each one of us. And that brings back ceremonies. It brings back different things to us. But with that answer, I say that our water rights is coming up here very soon. And we're going to have to fight hard ever dealing with our land and dealing with air, the air that we're trying to have out there. And you went to our reservation is we're applying for non-attainment with the US EPA. And so we have a lot of issues out there with land, air, and water. Mm-hmm. With that, I say we're still keeping that fight. We're still going to keep on going with the battles that we have. As long as we keep going, we say there's a drum beat. You all hear our drums that we have. We sing to those. And that we say that's the heartbeat of Indian country. As long as that drum beat's going, that's as long as our Indian people will be here.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.